are getting dickmatized.
This is a Kirkendall Barrett presentation, darling.
You can touch it if you want.
Ladies, if you want to meet a man, check your storage closet.
Come on, Kendall. Take off your shirt and go camera shopping at Best Buy.
Good shirtless, not bad shirtless.
Yeah.
Well, it was gratuitous.
Yeah, it was.
I like a good grizzled man sometimes.
A lifetime of Hallmark.
Well, hello everybody. It is your favorite day of the week. It is time for another episode of A Lifetime of Hallmark, where we talk about your favorite movies on both Lifetime and the Hallmark Channel and try to make sense of them. I am Les Kirkendall Barrett. Hello, Jason Bowers.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett.
And hello, Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett, and hello, Jason Bowers.
And we're back again.
Yeah. You sound surprised.
We
Well,
are.
you know.
Well, we had a little thread going. We had a little thread going. So we almost weren't available tonight.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I was on the witness stand because Jason was saying, like, I thought you weren't available Monday night. I was like, no, I had to provide evidence.
No. I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. That wasn't the case. I was under the impression, based on what you said the other day, you were basically hinting that Monday probably wasn't a good day. That's just all the way I interpreted that the other day. We're recording this on Monday, July 10th, by the way.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
Just having a good time.
Well, you know, I thought of you the other night, Kurt. I was out at the Abbey, and it was a Saturday night at the Abbey. It was packed, and I walked by where they have all of their cakes, and it was like almost 1 a.m. Actually, no, it was after 1 a.m, and they had a whole fresh assortment of cake.
Wow.
Well, did I tell you guys that I made the Tom Cruise cake?
What's the Tom Cruise cake?
Huh?
I guess I haven't said that. Every Christmas, every holiday season, Tom Cruise sends out a cake. And it's like this white chocolate coconut bundt cake. Like he ships it out from a bakery. This has become a famous thing.
Okay.
There's different celebrities who say, hey, I got the Tom Cruise cake now.
So he basically goes to this same bakery every year. This is their thing. They do the cake for Tom. They send it out.
Yeah, but it's become known as a Tom Cruise cake, and anybody can order it.
Is it like the Olivia Wilde salad dressing?
I don't know what that is, but
You don't know, but okay. So, when
I've actually heard of this.
Cruise cake story.
Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis were a couple, and they were getting divorced. I don't know if they still are. They're getting divorced, and so she was dating Harry Styles. And so it was all fun and games until she made Harry Styles her famous salad dressing, and Jason Sudeikis flipped out.
Really?
She made Harry Styles the salad dressing.
Why did he care? Was it like one of a family recipe from his grandmother or something?
I don't know. Well, okay, so not only did he flip out, allegedly he flipped out to the point that he got under her car and wouldn't let her drive away. He flipped his wig. And I think
stuck under her car?
Did he get stuck under the car?
No, you said he was under the car.
Allegedly, he was allegedly under the car.
This is so much more interesting than the movie we watched this week. This story right here.
Yeah, they should make a movie of this.
Yeah.
So I think have you both been through a major breakup, and then you get to that point of the breakup where okay, this is the point of no return, and this is never going to be fixed.
Yeah.
I think the salad dressing for him symbolized that, okay, she made Harry the salad dressing, well, this is done and we're beyond the point of fixing this.
This actually sounds like a Hallmark plot point. Like, so, like our relationship is really over when she uses the salad dressing recipe with another guy.
Right.
That's crazy. I just read Harry Styles was performing on stage, and he's another casualty. He got like smacked in the head. Somebody threw something out. Maybe it was Jason Sudeikis in the audience.
They're broken up now, though. Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde.
Jason Sudeikis. Yeah. How does he say his name?
Sudeikis. Well, did you hear the story?
They've broken up now.
You heard the story last year when Olivia Wilde was doing. I think she was at the what do they call it? CinemaCon, which is this big convention they have every year for movie theater owners, so they can figure out like what movies they want to book into their theaters for the following year. And she was promoting "Don't Worry, Darling," and while she's up there like doing a Q&A, she got served with the divorce papers in front of the audience.
I saw that on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's so bad. Yeah, I saw that too.
I saw that on YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was after or before the salad dressing.
I think it was after.
Can I conclude the Tom Cruise cake story? Because our
listeners are on
the edge of their seats. I found a copycat recipe.
They should call it copy cakes. Start a business right now, Kurt. Right now, go get the domain name. Start copy cakes right now. It's where you bake other people's recipes.
Copy cakes. All right.
Yes.
Before this episode comes out, I've got to get that copyrighted. All right. So I made the Tom Cruise cake. It was good. We ate it every day. I fed it to my mom, and I weighed my mom. And after it was done, if she had the Tom Cruise cake twice a day, she'd gained 2 pounds.
Oh.
But no, she's. I think she's lost the weight since she's been off the Tom Cruise cake.
That's funny. It's like not only is the Tom Cruise cake good, it'll pack on the pounds.
Yeah, it's very heavy. It's a heavy cake.
See, I don't like coconut, but I do like white chocolate. I do like white chocolate though. If there was a way that you could make it without the coconut, I would like it.
No, it's gotta have the coconut. It has coconut in it.
I like coconut milk, but I don't like coconut shavings.
Well, I will eat cake at the Abbey. That is one of the things I need to do when I'm out there.
No, I'll even like sit next to you while you eat it. That's how happy I'd be.
You said you
have you here. I'd even sit next to you while you ate it. That's a big deal at the Abbey.
Oh, that's right. Because it was it got kind of sad. We had a sad exchange thread because you guys were going to like pool parties and things on the 4th of July, and I was watching the Martin Scorsese film about religious persecution called Silence. That had been out a few years ago. That's how I spent 4th of July.
Well, Kurt, if you come to LA, Jason and I will sit next to you while you eat cake.
Well, here's the thing: we need to do it soon because I don't know if you've heard this news, Les.
I just heard today.
The Abbey is up for sale.
And Jason, you know what this means? You need to do me a favor too.
What's that?
Okay, so I've been talking to Brad the last few times. I've been talking to Brad.
Yeah,
Brad,
my friend that we've talked about on the podcast. I make him watch a lot of these movies with me.
Brad has been telling me about Musical Mondays.
No. Hard no.
Oh,
right, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a night they do called Musical Mondays, and in my opinion, it is straight up terrible.
What is Musical Mondays?
Well, no, that's why I want to go, because it's terrible.
No, it's not terrible. Les, I'm telling you, it's not terrible in the way that a train wreck Hallmark movie is terrible. It is not. It is not fun to watch. It's uncomfortable to watch. It's a night where
that makes me want to go. Okay, so Kurt, when you come,
I'm waiting to hear what this is.
It's a night. They do it on Mondays, obviously, and what it is they'll show clips of different movies, or maybe it's a music video, but it's always songs from movies, and there are people that get up there and perform, and I'm saying that in air quotes because they're singing along to the movie. And there's like they have like a rack of like wigs and costumes that they could put on, and it is bafflingly bad, in my opinion. People love it, so I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but I've been, and I'm like, what? How?
What's an example of like what kind of movie music did we see?
Think of any musical, think of any Disney movie where there's songs. So
it's like Mamma Mia.
So it's like Mamma Mia, and then they get up there pretending like they're Meryl Streep in Mamma Mia, but they're singing along. It's not even like they're singing original vocals; they're singing along with the track.
Okay.
But like in a weird costume.
Want to go for the wrong reasons.
No, it doesn't sound entertaining. The only thing I can think of is because you are in Los Angeles, the entertainment capital of the world. Are there at least people getting up there who have talent?
No,
once again,
I see talented people.
Once again, this is my opinion and mine alone.
Okay, but that's a question I shouldn't ask.
No. You don't even know if they have talent because they're not really the one. They're singing, but they're singing along with the singer in the movie who's at full volume as well. So it's like not even karaoke. It's like somewhere between lip syncing and karaoke.
It's a little Rocky Horror-ish. It's like the people audience, they're playing along with the movie.
A little, except like Rocky Horror is the whole audience is sort of doing it together. And this is like, no, people get up there and this is their song and they've like worked out a number and they get into fights with each other.
That's why I want to go.
No one is stopping you from going. I've been, which is how I know for me, I think it's terrible.
I don't want to go by myself. I want someone to have the.
I'll go with
Make your husband go with
come
you.
out there.
John,
I'll wait until he does something that makes me I'll wait till he makes me mad, and to punish him, I'll take him to Musical Monday.
The clock is ticking.
I know. Apparently. Well,
this is at the Abbey. You're saying it's closing.
So here's a question before we move on. Didn't the guy, David Cooley, who owns the Abbey, didn't he sell it once before?
He did.
And he sold it, but they kept it, the Abbey?
He sold 75% of it back in like 2004 or 5, I want to say. And then he bought it back probably like 6-7 years ago.
I remember that.
And so this could just be a thing of like on paper he's selling part of it, but he'll still be involved. It could be a thing where it's just a legal maneuver to transfer it to a different name or something where it's still hit. I don't know. Like all I know is that there were real estate listing had it as a new listing.
How much is it?
I don't know if there's a price, but when they sold it in 04-05, it was for like $10 million, and now it's much, much bigger. And then the passage of time along with that and inflation and, real estate market in LA, I'm sure, I bet you 45-50 million would be my guess.
And it's expanded. Yeah. It's expanded as well because now it's 2 bars in one.
Yeah.
Abbey for sale, Los Angeles. Let's see how much it is.
I wish I had the money to buy it. I would totally. If I had the money, I would totally buy it.
Abbey Food and Bar.
I would call it Les's Abbey and Snack and Chat.
Les's Abbey and what?
Snack and Chat.
Snack and Chat. Girl, you gotta lean. I know you don't drink now, but you gotta lean into the alcohol. That's where you make your money there.
Oh, I don't drink, but I still sell booze.
They're not making money off the cakes; it's off the vodka.
No. I don't drink, but I would definitely sell booze. I know where the money would come from.
I'm doing research here. I think I'm looking at the same article that you saw.
Is that on WeHoTimes.com?
Or WeHo?
This is on Voice News, a Q Voice News. But it says the same thing. Paid close to $10 million for a 75% stake a while back.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of the time. Okay. I don't know how much it is right now.
We'll keep our eyes posted for more news.
It's got to be somewhere. That information. Yeah.
Before we move on, we have a suggestion from our friend Jaquetta.
Oh, okay.
Jaquetta says that we should sell park ranger merch.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's not possible. This trail's been closed for 8 years. It's extremely dangerous.
Yes.
I would get
Like,
shirts
have that on
with
a
that.
shirt.
Yeah, on a shirt for sure.
Yeah.
A mug.
Or like a safety
And-
vest.
What'd you say?
On a safety vest.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's extremely dangerous.
Well, this movie had some near park ranger acting today. But before we get into that, someone who can act and who's talented and fabulous. Do you have any Blac Chyna news?
Doing a piece of China.
China.
I'm talking China.
The Blac Chyna Report. Here's Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Oh, are you talking about me? I'm moved by this. All right, now this is from page 6. This news just came out today.
Ooh.
July 10th, 2023. Here we go. Don't tell mom the babysitter's being extremely inappropriate. Blac Chyna's mom, Tokyo Toni, screamed about semen and dildos while watching over her 6-year-old granddaughter, Dream Kardashian. The troubled reality star and Dream, whom Chyna shares with ex-Rob Kardashian, were playing with a Google Alexa device when Toni began flipping out over the AI voice not shutting off. Alexa, get the fuck on, she said in a now viral TikTok video. I'm telling you, bitch, you better move on. She added, Alexa, I'm going to punch you in your fucking jaw. Get out of here. Scram. The exchange prompted Dream to inform her 50-year-old grandmother, it doesn't work like that, before commanding the device to stop playing that. When Alexa then began to inform her listeners that she enjoys curling up in bed with a good book and a warm coffee, Toni responded, and a nice hot dildo and a bucket of cum. None of the Kardashians, including Rob, have publicly acknowledged Toni's TikTok video. Chyna, who recently found God and embarked on a life-changing journey, also hasn't reacted to her mother's social media rant. The former Rob and Chyna star, 35, only recently made amends with her mother after years of feuding. In early May, just in time for Mother's Day, Chyna shared a video of her and Toni showing off the Angela tattoo she got on her chest. It's huge, Toni told her daughter, whose real name is Angela White. Over my heart, she added, after the two embraced in a hug that resulted in them rolling around on the ground and kissing each other on the cheek. Thank you, God, for the 35 years of life. I love you, Mom, for birthing me. Happy birthday to me. The former OnlyFans star captioned the sweet post. Fans were surprised by the loving reunion, as Toni previously stated that Chyna kept her from visiting her grandchildren, Dream and King Cairo. Chyna shares the latter with ex Tyga, who previously dated Rob's youngest sister, Kylie Jenner. It's unclear whether the mother-daughter duo will stand, where it will stand now that Toni's TikTok went viral.
Do you have the link to that TikTok video?
Do you want me to send? Yes.
Yeah, please send that to me.
I think
because I'll post that on our socials because that's very funny.
Well, I believe it's embedded into this.
Just send me the link to
I'll
the article then, please.
Yeah, I'll send you that.
I'll get it.
A bucket. Jeez. Damn, Toni.
I'm trying to get it. Look at where does I can't find it.
That may be my
Okay.
favorite Blac Chyna story ever. Because it's so
it came through.
there's so much going on, yet nothing going on.
I was very excited when I saw it. I knew that was hot news.
Hot off the presses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was like, this is good stuff.
Okay, what is going on with these Lifetime movies?
At least with this, it felt like they were trying a little too hard to seem not bonkers.
Well, and the thing is, I don't know how you felt, but the movie started out good. And it was going well, and then all of a sudden, like in the middle, it took a turn. But it was actually, at one point, I was like, oh, it's not so, like, it's actually interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just took a turn.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like the writer was writing and on a roll and then, like, came down with COVID or something and was sick.
Yeah. Or maybe it had to do with the director trying to show her chops Hey, we're trying.
Famous director.
Yeah, Haylie.
Who is this director?
Duff.
Who's that?
Haylie Duff, Hillary Duff's sister, and a talent in her own right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not familiar with.
Wasn't Haylie a Disney Channel star too?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So, and actually, because you had mentioned that Haylie Duff directed it, but even when I watched it and saw her name, I was like, oh, good for her.
Yeah. I like that they're putting more women behind the cameras of these movies focused on women, but I do legitimately wonder if in doing so, they're trying to deepen these movies to a point where they're no longer fun because they're crazy.
Right.
Like in this case, like the crazy people in this movie seemed like legitimately disturbed, and I was actually concerned for their well-being. Whereas normally they're so crazy that it's not believable, so it sort of makes it a fun ride to watch.
Yeah, like the one crazy who we'll get into, I was kind of like, oh wow, you're not well.
Yeah, it was like it was a little too good of a performance. Actually,
like, this is sad. Right.
It was like a public service message.
Yeah.
Instead of a Lifetime movie.
Right, because it's like, wow, you're really sad. This is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was promising out of the gate because I saw it was produced by Reel One. I was like, okay. Reel One normally does this right, but not here.
I'm wondering, and we'll talk about it, I'm wondering if it's one of these situations where initially it was supposed to be, like the killer was supposed to be someone else.
Maybe.
Well, there were only so many people could have been. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode, you know?
But I do think in this case,
so many suspects.
The title takes its name from what ultimately ends up happening in the movie.
Right.
And I think that is the hook that from where they wrote the movie is this concept of my professor's guide to murder.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, here we go.
Well, there's some things in this movie. There's something that needs to be explained to me, but I'll wait till we get to the part.
Okay.
That's a little teaser. Yeah, there's something that needs to be explained to me.
So would this opening be considered a cold opening? Because we had a voiceover and like it was like a reenactment piece.
It was a poetry reading.
Yes.
It's funny when I was watching the movie, it didn't feel like a cold open, because we don't know how the movie's going to turn out. Because the opening of the movie was a staged reading of this professor's book, but we see we're not seeing the staged reading right away. We're seeing a reenactment of the staged reading. So in that case, it's not a cold open. But then look at the title of the movie, My Professor's Guide to Murder. I'm not giving anything away here by saying the professor is the murderer. So knowing that he's writing about experiences murdering people, then that makes this a cold open because it's actually a flashback, isn't it?
Right. And one of the things that I've noticed that I don't think I've ever seen before is the credits started immediately.
Yeah.
Like immediately, out of the gate.
Haylie Duff ain't fucking around.
You're right. Like they're like, let's get this started.
That's a real red herring to, you'll never actually be accused of doing the murder if you're writing books about the murder that you just committed. That doesn't.
Yeah, he's basically committing crimes in plain sight.
That would be too obvious.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because this guy was, like famous. Like he was very famous.
I thought he was supposed to be like Stephen King, because Stephen King wrote a book called On Writing, and they mentioned that this guy wrote a On Writing book.
So he's reading, and one of the things that I noticed is that there were only women in his audience.
I didn't know.
A standing ovation.
Gets a standing ovation.
Yeah. They were older women, though.
Yeah, they're all one at the book signing was not older. The nervous lady.
Oh yeah.
But like he was one of these people, like, you know, he did his book signing, was not an asshole, very nice and pleasant to all of the women. And he would tell them all, you know, call me. What was his last name was, I forget what his last name was. But he would tell everybody, call me Miles. Like he was really big. Pardon?
Yeah.
Miles Dorr,
Miles
I think.
Blake.
Oh, Blake. Okay.
And he was really big on like being down to earth and having everybody call him by his first name. And he was nice to the fans.
And he was good looking.
Kind of squinty. He was a little squinty.
Yeah.
And like one of the fans came up and asked him where he gets his ideas from, and he told this lady that I write based on my own fears. And as his agent was running around doing stuff, I wrote down, I need a personal assistant, because this agent's last assistant was doing everything for him.
This assistant was like hovering over him. I went to a signing for John Patrick Shanley, and it was the same experience. He had this like assistant woman kind of just like hovering over him once you walked up.
So then we find out that he's going to be teaching at a university for a semester, but he's doing it as a way to be in one place so he can finish his book.
Yeah.
And a lot of writers do, like a lot of writers teach writing at university, like a lot of famous writers teach.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we see a woman in the library, and she's working on a paper. I thought she's working on a paper. Turns out she's working on her thesis, which is a book, which is a novel.
Mm-hmm.
So then her name is Ashley. She meets with her professor, like her student advisor, who really likes her. As a matter of fact, he refers to her as the daughter he never had. We find out she's a novelist. And so the author that's coming in.
Not to be mean, but that professor looked like he was 322 years old. That guy has gotten major tenure.
I think that was kind of the point in casting that guy is, you know, this is a guy that's, you know, seen it all. And so he would know better if she's got talent.
I think they cast him as a tribute because he's the man who invented cable television.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's not true. Cable how many years ago would that have been?
The 70s.
70s.
Oh, right. So maybe he did.
Fun fact, the area where I grew up in Pennsylvania, we had the nation's first cable company. So I had cable like back in the 70s, like when it was first a thing, because we sat in the Lehigh Valley and we couldn't get the major network stations out of Philadelphia, so they had to find a way to pipe it in. So they invented the concept of like, okay, well, we'll bring it in on this this cabling, and then we'll just wire the whole area for it.
All right, I'm gonna blow your mind, Jason. Did you have Prism?
I know what Prism is, but we didn't have it.
Okay.
That was like another like HBO type network back in the day. HBO
what
also started in Pennsylvania.
It was like an HBO thing, but it was like HBO movie channel, but it was local in like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and it also showed, I believe, it showed local sports as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was local.
It's long gone. But yeah.
So Ashley is going to take since she's a novelist and the professor is like one of her favorite novelists, she's going to take the class, but then her student advisor's like, oh, no. I've done one better. You're not going to take the class. You're going to be his assistant. You're going to be his teaching assistant. And so she's very happy about that.
It's been a long time since I was in, a college environment. Isn't the whole point of doing a thesis so that you're not bogged down by any other student obligations, so you can have time to focus on your thesis? And wouldn't being this guy's teaching assistant, when she didn't want to do it in the first place, wouldn't that be a massive suck of her time?
Yes, because you basically do all the teacher's work.
Yeah, the work that he doesn't want to do.
Yeah. So Yeah, it would be a time suck. So, but the teacher the student advisor really likes her and really says she's talented. And he's like, and I showed him your work and he really liked it. So then she runs into her nemesis, David. And I wrote, my first impressions of David is a bitch.
Oh, yeah. I think calling him Nemesis isn't even fair because Ashley had no beef whatsoever with David. In fact, she was very nice to him, tried to help him. She checks in on him during the movie. It's on his head.
Yeah.
Because he cray.
Yeah.
He looked like if Stephen Hawking could walk.
Yeah.
And he was the one that was so crazy that at one point I was like, oh, wow, he's really,
Did you guys think he was hot?
No, how dare you?
And sorry to the actor for being so resounding in my no, but it's just a testament to his performance and how much he creeped me out.
Right. Me too. Ditto.
Well, I don't want to feel bad for saying he looked like Stephen Hawking if he was walking. I can't be the only one going down on this ship, but yeah. All right.
He was an asshole too.
He was an asshole.
David was an asshole too.
Yeah.
So then we see Ashley. She's hanging out with her bestie Jordan, and Jordan they're both grad students. So Jordan was a criminology major.
Yeah, criminal justice. Yeah,
criminal justice.
And she's got an internship at the morgue.
Yes,
that's a good place to network.
Which she has to be there at night. How creepy is that? Like she got to be. Her shift is at night. And so Jordan, so she and Jordan are besties. Jordan's encouraging her to be confident about her writing, and so then we see them and they're walking, and then we see David lurking and watching them. So then Ashley meets Miles. They get along. Miles is very nice to her. Miles tells her, like, I read your book. Your chapters are great. Gives her duties, her responsibilities. Then they go for a walk. They go to his house on campus. And it's a creepy looking house. And
massive, though.
Yeah, massive.
Is that I know they give housing to visiting professors and stuff. Is it generally a house that big and that nice? Because we saw that in a Hallmark movie too.
Yes.
I would say if he was like a major draw.
They made it sound like this guy was like as big as Stephen King. They made it sound like he was a big deal.
Well, I have this ex-boyfriend whose dad worked at Columbia. His dad taught at Columbia. And so part of the dad's deal was that the dad had this fabulous apartment on the West Side in New York, like a fabulous one. And it was like an older one as well. Okay. So no, I think that's like, I think it depends on, whether you're famous or how much tenure you have, but the apartment was part of the deal for my friend's dad.
I gotta start teaching classes about Hallmark movies. Lifetime movies. Yeah.
So then someone's watching them though as they're near Miles's house. So then the next day we're in class or we're in the hall and we see this creepy guy, which I like the takeoff of the black hoodie. It was a black coat with a hood.
Yes.
And so he's creepy. He's picking on David. And then this other guy, this very good looking guy, walks up and defends David. Like, hey, leave him alone.
Yeah, because he knocks his books out of his hand like they're in high school.
Yeah, it was very high school.
Yeah, and so then Miles comes into class and David becomes dickmatized.
Damn.
By Miles. He's so dickmatized by Miles.
But not even like by his looks, although that could be a factor too. It was more just by like his sheer talent and force of nature.
He was in a dickmatized coma.
Yeah, my notes, I definitely wrote David is creaming his pants over Miles.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that from that bucket from Tokyo Toni?
You know, I wrote that before I saw that article. It's become a theme, and I think, you know, maybe
David had a bucket too.
My new favorite country song. David had a bucket
David
too.
has a bucket too.
Yeah.
So I wrote in my notes, Miles is a very dramatic teacher.
Yes.
He was very dramatic.
Well, did you explain what happened with those with the kid? We didn't hear the end of the story there. The kid who knocked into David and knocked out his
wait.
Before we get to that, I didn't even notice that in my notes I also wrote the words, David is creaming his pants over this class to Ashley.
That's fair.
Because yeah, we didn't get there yet, which we're there now.
Yeah.
So Miles is teaching, and then all of a sudden, the creepy guy with the black coat, the black hoodie coat, starts like yelling in the middle of class, and then the good-looking guy is like, "Hey, what's your problem?" to the guy. Like the good-looking guy goes in to defend Miles from the creepy guy with the hoodie coat. And the creepy guy with the hoodie coat takes out a knife and stabs the good-looking guy. And then we find out they're actors from the theater department who Miles has enlisted to come to prove a point.
How do you wrangle those people up?
Well,
Did he put up notices out in the hallway?
Also, like, once you
needed for diversion.
Yeah, once you do hire these actors from the theater department, actors that presumably have been going to this college for a few years, along with all of these senior, several years into their education students who are taking this advanced class, doesn't it seem to make sense that maybe, just maybe, somebody in that class would have recognized one or both of those guys as being actors?
Right.
Yeah. And I thought it was kind of patronizing too. He's like, these are students from the theater department. You know,
he probably bought them beer or something and said, "Hey, I'll buy you beer if you do this."
Oh no, they were doing it for exposure.
Yeah. For the gram.
Yeah, exposure.
And yeah, I wrote here too. Yeah, David is so dickmatized he couldn't help it. As he was talking to Ashley, and Ashley was like, "I gotta go."
Yeah. He was a lot.
So
yeah, he would have been in trouble if he was asked to go and write something on the board.
So then this next thing, I think at one
wouldn't have needed chalk.
Versions, I think in this next thing, I think in one of the versions it was gonna be a thing, but then it wasn't. Because all of a sudden, Jordan goes to Ashley, "You really need to charge your phone."
Yeah. Well, no, they used this throughout the movie a few times to like pretty lame effect.
Yeah.
I'm still laughing about he wouldn't have needed chalk.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, calm myself down.
So Ashley's really inspired by Miles, and so she and Jordan are having drinks, yucking it up, and then Miles comes to the bar, and he buys them a round of drinks, and they have a good time, and then they're leaving, and David is lurking and watching them from the bushes. So then David goes home. His book, he has he has pictures of Miles. He has a book that's totally like posted it up And he's also angry that Ashley is getting attention from Miles, even though it's literally platonic. Miles literally was just having drinks with them. That was it. So then Miles is teaching, and he's talking about, like, writing a murder novel. And he's like, research is very important. And he's like, research what it's like to murder someone. But he says it, like, jokingly. And then David is stigmatized again, and he brings up a point. He's like, what about, you mentioned in one of your interviews that when you were a new writer, you would pick a person from the audience and you'd follow them.
Yeah, he would just, like, pick a random person out of a crowd and, like, follow them for as long as he could without being noticed. So he's basically, not even basically, he's admitting to the class, hey, or in this interview, hey, I used to stalk people so I could get inspired to write my books.
Yeah.
And then he threw everybody off the scent because he was like, I know it's creepy, and I do different things now, and I understand it was creepy, but now I've grown up and I've evolved, and I don't do that anymore.
And now he's creepy by spending inappropriate time with his assistant, having her at his house.
Yeah.
So he's evolved to that.
So then for their homework is to plan the perfect murder. So then we see Ashley. We see Ashley and Jordan, and they're jogging. We find out that Jordan's a triathlete. And then Ashley goes to Miles's house to help him go over the papers. And then we have a reading montage.
Yeah. I called it a reading student papers like a Folgers commercial montage.
Right.
That's hot.
So then Ashley and Miles are talking, and Miles is like, I think these kids have seen too many movies. And why did David's name come up? Because I have David Freeman, but I don't have any notes.
Oh, because
that's the only one he liked.
Yeah, basically he was like, kids, they watch too many TV and movies. These are all, and basically he was finding plot holes in all of their ways of murdering people and getting away with it. And that crazy David kid, his has potential. Somebody could actually use this one.
Right. So then we see Ashley. She's walking home alone in the woods after the grading session.
Okay, so this is my first question. Need to explain to me, where were they go to college? Were they in the Pine Barrens? What was this all of a sudden? There wasn't this creepy.
I don't know where this
forest
movie took place, but it looks like they filmed it in Atlanta.
But all of a sudden there wasn't any campus. They were walking through like this haunted forest, like from.
Oh, like, where I went to
Evil
school in Pennsylvania, I went to Kutztown, and we had a lot of, like, for lack of a better word, like blank space on campus that wasn't like buildings. There's like just a big plot of land that you have to walk across on the paved area to get to your dorm or whatever. Okay. There are definitely like, not dead areas, but like just big, huge areas on campus that aren't covered by urban sprawl.
By the way, I think we may have mentioned this before, but we may have seen each other years ago because I visited the Kutztown campus.
Oh, what year?
Would have been 91, 92.
I was there that year.
Oh, so you guys could have crossed paths.
Oh my. What were you doing visiting there, Kurt?
Because a friend of mine I went to high school with was going there. In fact, it would have been 91. Yeah.
Okay, I was definitely there.
That's spring semester. Yeah.
It would have been like, it could have been like Sliding Doors, that movie.
Yeah. Let's go watch the tape. See if we can find any surveillance video from Kutztown University.
We got to see, and then we'll post it on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
We need content.
So Ashley's walking through the woods. She sees someone walking towards her with a black hoodie. So it's like, finally, a black hoodie. And then she's being followed. And so this actually, I gotta say, was very smart. Because she's being followed, and she calls her friend, and she's like, hey, Jordan, I'm being followed. Can I come over?
Yeah.
And Jordan's like, yeah, of course. Come over. So she goes to Jordan's house, and then Jordan like takes her phone and starts charging it. And then Ashley thinks that Jordan is very courageous. Right? And so they're at Jordan's house. And then we see these three other girls, and they're walking in that same area. Two of them are like, hey, well, we're going to the bar. The other one's like, oh, I got to go home and do my homework. And this showed, no, you should not do your homework. You should go to the bar.
I agree.
Because...
A life lesson.
Yeah, because the two girls went to the bar, and they were fine, but the other girl started walking through the creepy area, and she got kidnapped.
Yeah.
And she had on Converse sneakers.
Yeah, and got kidnapped. So which shows study or party, because party keeps you safe.
I always wanted Converse sneakers, and I finally have some.
Oh, congrats.
Finally got it. Yeah.
Are they the Chuck Taylors?
Are they what?
The Chuck Taylors, the cloth ones?
I'll show you. Where are they? Oh shoot! Where are they? I'll see where they are. Hold on. I'll look around for them. I'm looking around my room. Oh, I don't know where they are. Maybe they're in the... Okay. I don't think this is entertaining for people at home. You're looking for sneakers.
It's actually quite funny for us, though.
I know, right?
Because we see the video, too. You are, like, frantically searching your room for your sneakers.
Well, no, I don't know where they are. I lost my sneakers.
Maybe that girl was wearing them when she got kidnapped.
Yeah.
Well, I had Converse sneakers. I don't know where they are now.
Wow.
That's really disappointing.
Looks like you picked the wrong sneakers.
What happened to these things? All right, never mind.
I'm sure you will find them after the show.
Frustrating. Okay.
But I'm happy that you finally got them.
So the next day, everybody's in the quad, and they do that annoying thing on movies where everybody gets a text at the same time. And we find out that Kate Bishop, the girl from last night, is missing. And then they're in class, and we notice that Miles has a scratch on his neck. And when Ashley asks what happened, Miles just says, oh, I cut myself shaving.
He also said something about like how he didn't sleep well. He was up all night.
Right.
Which should be a red flag. This girl goes missing. This guy has a weird scratch on his neck and is like super tired because he's been up all night. What's he doing?
Right.
Kurt is still looking for his shoes.
That's just not...
Kurt is still looking for... Oh, you found him. Yay.
Instagram.
I used to have hair just like that. Actually, I still have them. And in fact, I had a conversation with Amanda Bynes about them.
What did Amanda Bynes have to say about your...
Tell her about mine.
What did Amanda Bynes have to say about your Converse?
I think I may have told this story a long time ago, but I was at the premiere of Hairspray, the movie that was the musical movie that Amanda Bynes played Penny in. And she was at the premiere, and I was at the party that I snuck into, and had like a brief, or not even a brief conversation, like a nice long conversation. She's like, I wore red sneakers to my first audition, and ended up booking the job because of those sneakers. And we just talked about it for a few minutes. She was lovely.
Aww. Poor Amanda.
Well, I'll have to wear my sneakers to my next audition.
Yeah. Red ones.
Nice. All right, we're going to get a picture of this. All right, nice. Oh, so that wasn't like a shaving scar this guy had. That looked like mouth, like the guy had a mouth on the bottom of his neck.
Or
He
maybe
probably
somebody
did.
scratched him. Maybe somebody getting abducted.
Right. So
How to get ahead in
then
advertising.
David is late for class. Class starts, and then Ashley turns around, and David is gone, and then we see David in the bathroom puking. And
What's wrong with him?
he's pregnant, maybe? All that bucket of,
Yeah. A lot of buckets.
Jeez.
So then we see Kate Bishop, and she's trapped. It looks like a well.
Yeah, I didn't know
Like a
what she was
silo.
trapped in.
It looked like a well.
Silo, this like,
Yeah.
it wasn't a well.
It looked almost like, the tower that they keep Rapunzel in. It was like that, except Rapunzel's at the bottom. There's no doors. There's only a window up above.
Right.
The use of this structure, there was no use for this structure other than for abducting people, it seemed.
Seriously.
Well, there's a market. What I don't understand, so is this when the hose comes into play?
That's later. That's like the next scene.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll wait till that happens.
Okay.
Then I'll.
Because first there's like nobody there. And then we see Ashley and Miles is like, I read your pages. Let's talk about it over dinner. And then he's like, professional. We'll be professional. So it's nice to know that Miles is a professional. So he's like, he says it'll be dinner amongst peers. So then we see Kate Bishop in the silo well again, and she's like, help, at least give me some water.
He's thirsty.
And then the next day, David is not in class at all.
Well, so that's what this is where Kurt's trying to talk about. So she asked for the water, and somebody up above, not in a black hoodie, but in a black mask, starts filling the tower, the silo, the whatever this is with water.
Yeah.
So can't you swim in this water? I mean, this is what I don't understand this. If I'm in a silo and they brings a hose in it, I'm going to keep floating on the water until it gets to the point where there's these open windows. The water's just going to start pouring out. In fact, I can float to the top and I might be able to get out.
I think in the case of Kate Bishop, she swam until she couldn't swim anymore. Because just like if you're out in the ocean, it's like, yeah, even if you can swim, eventually you want to stand up on dry land. Otherwise, you're just in the water. And if you're in there for hours, you're not going to be able to stay afloat that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the ocean's different. You got a riptide. You got, different things like that. And you can float. And like I said, once she's up high enough to those windows, the water's going to start pouring out. She could hold on to those things.
Yeah, but it's filling. Like, have you ever filled up a pool from scratch? It takes
not really.
24 hours to fill a pool. And whatever water was filling that silo was probably about the same amount that you would fill a pool with.
Oh, I guess so.
And in fact, they justify it later by another person that's in this tower that maybe can handle it a little more.
They're not getting me. If I'm in a silo and you're pouring hose in, I'll keep myself awake for 24 hours. I'm getting to the top. There's no stopping me.
Okay. So that I won't kidnap you that way, Kurt.
No, don't do it.
Okay.
We'll kidnap you and put you in a room of cake. But all the cake will be in glass and you can't get to it. So you'll be like, "Yo, give me the cake!"
That would be cruel.
But you won't have access to the cake.
By the way, I think somebody else already owns the name Copy Cakes because I tried to buy the domain a little earlier in the show and it was $2,500. Yeah.
Copy Cakes. Oh, that.
Oh, so Ashley asks Jordan, hey girl, let's go for drink. No, Jordan asks Ashley, hey girl, let's go for drinks. And Ashley's like, well, I can't because I'm having dinner with Miles. Now, Jordan has been encouraging Ashley to go after Miles.
Yeah.
And so
that's not a good idea.
So then Jordan's like, okay, go to dinner, and I want a full report tomorrow. So they're having dinner, Miles and Ashley, and Miles is just kind of giving her tips on her writing and telling her to push the envelope further, and you're talented, and all this stuff.
It sounded like he was grooming her. You know, it just sounded like it wasn't.
Yeah,
right.
it kind of did.
Yeah. Well, he was saying you need to get in the mind of the killer and suggest like looking at the Tower Girls story for inspiration.
So then we cut to the woods, or like the shore of the lake, and we see these kids, and they're making out, and it's a guy and a girl, and the girl's like, hey, let's go swimming. And the guy's like, I don't know about this. But she's like, oh, come on. And then he gets stigmatized because she's in her underwear, so he gets stigmatized.
I think
he goes from saying
That's
no
not stigmatized.
No, that's not. What did we had a name for that?
It was vaginitized. What was it? No, it was something else.
Vagmatized? What did we call? We came up with a name for it.
Vaginated.
One of our listeners probably remembers. No, I don't think it was vaginated. One of our listeners knows this. Are you there, Jaquetta? What
Jaquetta, did we come up with a name?
Send us an email.
Text me and let me know. Well, he was.
Doesn't Heather? Well, I don't say her last name. We have some listeners named Heather.
Heather? What did we say?
Heather in Fresno. You listen.
Heather, let us know.
Are you out there? This sounds like we're locked. We're locked in like someplace. Hello? Could you hear us?
Well,
there's a hose on us.
So she uses her powers. She uses her powers because he's like, I don't think so. And then she's like, oh, come on. And he's like, all right, whatever you say, and starts taking his clothes off. But then
opportunity knocks.
He sees a dead body, and it's Kate.
Opportunity for a off-kilter threesome.
And she's under a tree, like a fallen tree branch or something.
Yeah. But it basically looks like she's washed ashore.
Yes.
I was pushing the envelope a little too much.
So then Ashley calls Jordan, and Ashley's like, you won't believe this, but Kate's dead. And then we see Miles.
Guess who's dead?
And they're in class, and Miles is really upset. Actually postpones classes for the rest of the week. And then Ashley goes and checks in on David because David hasn't been to class in days. And she tells David that Miles sent her, and David looks messed up. Like messed up.
He's run out of
buckets. And he tells Ashley, well, I've had the flu and I've been in the hospital.
Just what was your excuse before?
And he's like, everybody hates me. Everybody underestimates me. And then Ashley's like, well, no, actually, Miles really likes your writing. I think it's very
Listen, you didn't point out that before they start having this conversation, when she goes to see him, she starts snooping in his room.
Oh, that's right. She did start snooping.
Yeah.
She did start snooping.
But her phone was dead.
And he's got this weird like Homeland thing on his wall where it's like all these pictures and arrows and
of Miles,
Post-its and
of Miles.
He should have had some weird shit out, because he
like he's like obsessed. And so then David's like, okay, why did you really come here? Miles doesn't like me. And
I like how a big explanation. He was apologizing the place wasn't clean. Right. I usually tidy up on Wednesdays. I wasn't here on Wednesdays.
I know, right? He gave a full rundown.
He had a jankety faucet too. Like one of them went to go get water at the sink, and the handle of the faucet was just like not secure. It was just like the whole fixture was moving around.
So
he's got to call the landlord.
Yeah.
So she's like, no, I really did come to check on you. I was worried. And then she's like, and Sarah, Kate Bishop died. And then David quotes what Miles said about getting in the murderer's head. And then Ashley's like, okay, he was just kidding, right? He didn't mean that. And David was so creepy, though, that he seems like the type of person that would believe it. So then Ashley's talking to the old counselor again. And
he doesn't have much time left on this earth.
And Ashley's actually suspicious at this point. And
maybe
he's
put
like,
him early in the day just to ensure that he'd be around. Okay,
and he had like Sally Jesse Raphael type glasses.
He did, yeah.
And so
we all lived through that era.
Yeah, but he's in 2023.
Yeah, but he stocked up on him back then. He still got him.
I'm wearing like Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt wore these glasses before Sally Jesse Raphael.
And so Ashley is telling, and so she's not suspicious against one person, but she is kind of like, something's not right about this. And the professor's like, oh, you need to calm down.
Look up a joke, just like a rant. Like, he is so old that.
How old is he?
I'm trying to look at it. He's so old that.
How old is he?
I want to see what it comes up with. He's so old. Oh, come on.
If you want a supercut of really fantastically funny and even dirty old people jokes, on Silicon Valley, did you ever watch that?
Yeah.
It's about these like tech guys, and at one point, to satisfy like shareholders, they bring in this like seasoned CEO to run the company for them, and he's so much older than them that one of the big investors, this guy Ehrlich, just like starts laying out these insults. It was played by T.J. Miller, and there's a supercut of all the alt takes that they did of that joke, and it's like a 3-minute run of like, do you like Ike? It was things like, would you like that with some Werther's original candies?
Wait, I just found some. He's so old, the movie Jurassic Park brought back memories.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I can't. Oh, man. He's so old, he went to school before they had a history class. I'm going to cry. Okay, I can't do it anymore. Oh, man, that's enough.
Well, you know who can't cry is Kate, because she died dehydrated.
Yes. She died dehydrated. But then, Jordan was kind of confused because Jordan's like, she died dehydrated, but she drowned.
Why didn't she drink water when the water was coming in?
Well, she did, and that's what happened.
Too little, too late, though. Like, it's not like she like drinks the water and suddenly it's like, oh, she's hydrated. It's like she probably had a couple of sips and then started fighting for her life.
Right. She had to swim.
Man. Well, there are people who are very scared of water. See, I'm not. I'm very comfortable with the water. But I used to work as a lifeguard. I knew there were people who were like just really scared of it.
Yeah, for sure. I think they even said that Kate didn't know how to swim.
Yeah,
I think that came up at some point.
So then Ashley told the counselor about David. So then why did Miles yell at Ashley? They're in the park.
Miles yelled at Ashley
because she met him in the park.
Oh, yeah. Was that? I'm trying to see where that was. No, what was it? I can't remember. I have it.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm in the part where he apologized to her, but yeah,
because he apologized. That's why I brought it up.
He yelled at her. Let's see. He thinks kids are naive. Was that it?
It was.
Kids are naive. He asked about David. he thinks she's believing her own stories or that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I remember that scene. I don't know why I don't have notes about it. But
yeah, well, he gets mad at her about something, so
yeah,
just kind of about how things are going, I guess.
Are we up to the point though where David showed up at Miles' house to talk about why he wasn't in class, talk about his paper?
Actually, before that, like right before that, Ashley goes to Jordan's house. Jordan comes home, tells Ashley that, okay, I was at the autopsy and the details are weird because she drowned, but the water that was in her system wasn't from a lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then David shows up at Miles's house. And he's like, I want to talk about my paper. And Miles is like, you are getting digmatized. And then he gives David some scotch. And scotch makes the dictamization even stronger. and then they start talking, and we find out that Kate's murder was like the murder that David made up for his assignment.
Yeah. His pitch included a girl washing up on shore.
Yes.
Wouldn't David kind of put two and two together here?
He did.
He did, but he was like digmatized.
Oh. Okay.
That's what digmatization does to you. You can't think. He was like, he was like, so just like, like, you know.
So what do? You're digmatized. I've never been digmatized.
Well,
you have to like breathe. You have to do like yoga breathing to get out of this.
Like you try to snap out of it. Like you're like,
how do you manage?
Like
usually what I do to get past the digmatization is to get the dick.
Right. And if you want to snap out of it, you're like, think of garbage. Or like, you know.
Yeah. Like, be Arthur naked.
Right.
I guess I've been vaginitized, and yeah, you just do stupid things. Like your brain doesn't really operate as well.
No, because it's like you're in a brain fog.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in a brain fog.
Brain is filling up with buckets.
Yeah.
So then, and this is how digmatized David was. He had a feeling that things weren't right. And then Miles was like, hey, well, let's have another scotch. And David is like, of course.
Yeah, you know what? I get it.
And then David's like, I'm starting a new book. And then we see Jordan at the bar. And Ashley, she invited Ashley to come out with her, but Ashley's like, no, I want to finish my thesis. And so
I found another age joke. This one says, this is dumb. At your age, the porn you bring home is Debbie does dialysis.
What? You wrote that joke.
This is a joke on the same website.
Debbie does dialysis.
My version of that joke would be that your porn is in hieroglyphics.
That's good too.
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave that alone. Got to get past that.
So then Jordan's at the bar alone. She's had a hard day. She's been through, an autopsy.
She's had a hard day.
So she's at the bar. Miles shows up at the bar. He hits on her. And he's a good-looking guy. And he starts using his digmatizing powers on her. And she's like, just like David.
This is a very educational show.
Yeah, for sure.
This episode should be played in a college course.
Yes.
You were talking about that.
Yeah.
You wanted to get a nice house in college.
I just want the house, though.
So like he invites her home, but then he drops like on his way out, he breaks a glass. So he's like, I'll meet you outside.
Gotta sweep up this glass.
They're going to meet outside. She goes to the bathroom, then he does the knock over the glass.
Right.
He has to go.
So then they're walking, and they're in like the creepy part of campus, and then he just fucking like lets it all hang out. Yeah, I'm the murderer, and guess what? I drugged your drink, bitch. and he's like, and I know he's like, I've done this so long, I could tell your body weight and everything, and I just figured it out. And then she passes out, and he throws her in the trunk.
Yeah. And it's important to note that we did learn before that Jordan is training for a triathlon.
Right.
And can swim.
We get the Chiron 2 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley's finished her book. She's very happy. And then Jordan is in the silo.
I feel bad for these people in silos. Now here I am laughing at them.
And then Ashley calls Jordan, of course, but Jordan doesn't answer the phone because Jordan's in the silo. And Miles is talking to Jordan with a mask. And then he starts pouring water. And so then Ashley, and so it's 2 days, and Ashley hasn't heard from Jordan in 2 days, which is weird because they're like the type of friends who talk every day. And the fact that Jordan hasn't been seen or heard of in 2 days is really weird to Ashley. So Ashley goes back to the bar where they hang out, and the bartender was like, oh, I saw Miles. And did he say he saw Jordan too?
He said he saw Miles there with, or, you know, because she showed a photo. He saw the guy, he was talking to some girl, but it didn't look like they left together. Because basically the reason he did that glass thing was she's going to the bathroom on her own to freshen up. He does the glass thing so everyone sees him leave by himself, so it doesn't look like he's with this girl that is going to then get abducted.
Right. So then we find out that David was found dead.
Yeah, that was jarring. I thought, did I miss something?
And that they said he committed suicide and left a note. Then the silo.
He basically felt guilt over killing women. So in other words, somebody set David up for this because David didn't actually kill anyone. But it was his pitch. Where
I had the pang of fear because then I checked the time and I'm like, this movie is almost over and nothing has really happened.
And yet so much has happened.
Like, you know, I was like, this movie is almost over. And it's like a third grader wrote this movie. It's very surfacey. So Jordan's in the silo's filling with water. Then Ashley is like, her phone needs to get charged.
What a waste of water. I was thinking when I was watching this.
Mm-hmm.
And is this public water? Do they have a well?
Well, from a hose, so it probably is.
The campus is paying for it.
Oh, all right. But still, what a waste.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if that were SoCal, we're in a drought here. Come on.
So then Ashley shows up at the house. She finds Jordan in the silo. Then she confronts Miles, and Miles is like, I kill because I have to. And then how did he fall in the well? Did she push him, or he somehow fell in the well?
Ashley turned off the water. They get into a little scuffle, but at that point she had lowered the hose, and Jordan's climbing the hose. Jordan comes out. Miles basically goes to push Jordan back down, and he ends up falling in.
And then this is where I got mad.
Yeah,
I got so mad because he falls in. And then they do 1 year later. And then Ashley is having a reading of her book that is done. And that is a bestseller. And I was mad because I'm like, this is the part where you're supposed to then show Chyna. And then Miles going, "Hi, kids, I'm your new writing teacher."
Especially given the knowledge that this guy has killed other people and written famous books about those murders in the past.
Right. Like, you know, like he's in like Delaware, like at an all-girls school. Yeah. "Hi, ladies, this is your brand new teacher." And then he turns around and Ned smiles, smiling at them.
Yeah.
And that was it. So nothing really happened in this movie.
No.
Nothing.
He died in the silo or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But nothing really happened.
Haylie, Duff, you done us
They tried to act like they were smart. They tried to act smart. There was a quote, a Picasso quote. He says that good artists copy, great artists steal. And there was a reference to Occam's razor.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
someone need to take a razor to the script.
The old dude references Occam's razor, which is basically a problem-solving principle that basically it's like the simplest explanation is the correct one.
You know what we need? We need a wrong movie.
Yeah, we do.
And I know the wrong movie. Without revealing details, I know a wrong movie is coming out.
When?
Oh, good.
We need to find out when.
A wrong movie is. I believe the wrong movie has already been made. Like it's coming out for sure.
Well, I was our friend of the show, and one of the queens of Lifetime,
right?
Meredith Thomas. She lost her poor little cat, but she found it. She found a cat, and her cat's name is Emmy.
And I think she found it just because of social media.
Yeah.
Like she totally did a social media thing. And I think that she found it in like less than a day. Like it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Social media can be very powerful. Where can people find you, Les?
They can find me on Facebook at Les Kirkendall Barrett, or Instagram at Kirkendall, and that's KURKENDAAL, or on Threads at Kirkendall. Jason.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Big Shot Jason. You can find all of us on Lifetime of Hallmark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Kurt.
Wow, y'all got on Threads, huh? I didn't know about this. Okay. Well, it's truly the Kurt Fitzpatrick resurgence. I'm doing my show. Wait till you hear it. I'm doing my show, The Jester of All Maladies, at the Indianapolis Fringe Festival. That's going to be the beginning of September. So look that up. Do your internet searches. The end of September, I'm doing my another one-man show. Behind every great Briska Hargitay is a great Kurt Fitzpatrick at the Philadelphia Fringe Festival, actually part of the Cannibal Festival, which is part of the Philadelphia Fringe Festival. I am, like I said last show, it's not a joke. I'm going to be performing in a Vacation Bible School production at Elk Township, New Jersey. And I do murder mystery shows throughout New York and New Jersey. So contact me if you want to see me there. And I'm on the Shelf Shedding movie show with Jason DeBray. Our recent episode, we talk about post-Governor Schwarzenegger movies.
Hi, Jason DeBray.
Six late career. He listened to our last episode, by the way. He says hello.
Who, Governor Schwarzenegger or Jason DeBray?
Jason DeBray.
Jason DeBray or Governor Schwarzenegger or anyone can give us all a 5-star review on whatever podcasting platform they listen to us on. It helps more people find the show.
Right. Oh, and I'm going to be doing my show, Climbing My Family Tree, at the Minnesota Fringe at the beginning of August, and then the end of August, I will be doing that same show at the Indianapolis Fringe, the Indy Fringe, and then I have an announcement that I'm still under embargo, but I will be making an announcement very soon. And we're at, oh my gosh, it's still light out. So
it will be for like another hour.
I'm going to go jogging and jog off this Chipotle I ate earlier and find a movie for next week. So, bye.
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 He was so old, his blood type was discontinued.